Well, it's great to be back to this event again. It's amazing to see the fantastic activities being done by India through the ambassador here in Sweden to develop relations between Sweden and India. You know, my first visit to India was actually 1977. I was then chef de cabinet of the International Chamber of Commerce and organized a seminar about investment in India. And one of my speakers was Indira Gandhi, a few years ago. But you know, ever since then, and I visited India about once or twice every year, I've been convinced, a firm believer in the long-term possibilities of India. You go back 300 years, India and China competed to be the largest economy in the world. They each had about 30% of world GDP. Not many knew of the United States at that time. And with the ambitions from the Indian government and with the opening up of India, I also believe that India someday will get back into the position to being the world's largest economy. The India we know from Kunskapsskolan, KED short, is vibrant, dynamic, with a massive potential. And as you heard, with a population below 35, what fantastic opportunities. And parents in India want, of course, a better future for their children. And there is an enormous demand for affordable, good quality education. And educating the people, the many people, is of course the key to the long-term success. There is an elite in India, which is among the best educated people in the world. But of course, that's just a fraction of the population. So the challenge is to skill the whole Indian workforce so that people in both manufacturing, service, agriculture sectors can move up the value chain, compete on a global scale, not only with low cost, but with skills. Kunskapsskolan develops, implements, and operates comprehensive programs for personalized learnings in K-12 schools. We were founded here in Sweden 15 years ago. We got about 12,000 students in Sweden in 37 schools, achieving substantially better academic outcomes than the average Swedish school. We have one basic principle, and that's human beings are equal, but they are different. And that's one thing that the educational system rarely takes into account. That's why our personal way of educating young people has attracted lots of interest. And we have today a presence in Sweden, India, United States, United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and we'll open our first school in Saudi Arabia, actually in September this year. But back to India. We started in Gurgaon with 250 students in 2013. I was in India about 2 months ago and inaugurated our second school in Delhi. We have one school in Punjab, in Lahore, and we just started a school in Uttar Pradesh. And next month we start constructing our 5th schools in Bangalore. So the plans that we so far have exceeded says that in 10 years from now we will have about 30,000 students in India from upper middle class and middle class segment, which means that at that time it's likely that Kunskapsskolan in India will be double the size of Kunskapsskolan in Sweden. And I can tell you a secret. It's so fantastic to come to a country where you're really welcome when you provide education. That's not always the case in Sweden. But long term, our belief is, of course, to bring the KED program to workers, working class and lower middle class, and get good quality education affordable for the wide group of population. Our ambition is not to improve education for a few thousand students, but for millions of students. And here, the digital revolution will open up enormous possibilities. And India is in the forefront of the digital revolution with all the talent that is there in providing the kind of digitalization that is needed. So our long-term aim is not only to have our KED program in private school, but also enter into a relationship with the public sector and get the program into a much wider scope in India. Then we are today looking at how we can support important initiatives launched by the Indian government in the skills arena. So with our Indian partners and with a number of leading Swedish companies, we are now in dialogues with industrial networks how we can map respective needs for skilled labor and design specific training programs leading to real qualifications meeting demands of real companies leading to real jobs. So a very interesting combination here, what we can do with our educational methodology and what the large Swedish export companies that are doing more and more in India need to do when they are providing training skills. So that's the next move in Kunskapsskolan. You know, we feel extremely welcome in India, and we look very much forward to continue to play an increasing role in realizing the full potential of this great country. And I'm so pleased to see how the relationship between my home country and India during the last years has become better and better, and it's fantastic opportunities for important business deals, but also important relations that leads to an even better understanding between our two countries and how we can both benefit from that close cooperation. Thank you very much.